In this video, we're going to be exploring Jake Morphonios and his activities on YouTube and a lot of the claims that he makes. And so we're going to be looking at him. We're going to be doing a quick research on his surname, and we're also going to be looking on his family, since he tends to put a lot of information out in the public domain. So he's created this Blackstone intelligence network, which again is just a creation. Anybody can get a YouTube channel, name it anything they want. They can write a bio about stuff that they've done, and they can create a character. And so this is exactly who Morphonios is. He's just a character. In fact, we're going to find out that he's a deceiver. And so he's going to lead investigations into the shadowy world of the deep state and the Rothschild New World Order Syndicate. No, he's not, actually, because if he actually were any threat to them, he'd be gone. I mean, if he actually was a threat, what's much more likely is he actually is working for them, that he's counterintelligence, or he's very deceptive, and we're going to explore this deception. So there's no way that he's actually doing this. What he's doing is he's going to have some truth, but we're going to evaluate some of his videos, and you can see the guy is a pseudo-intellectual, that he's a narcissist, that it's really about him. Everything's about him. And this reads like some kind of movie script, you know. So he's utilizing a vast global network. Now, this is just bizarre. This is a guy who is a history major, right? So somehow he manages to accumulate this vast global network of citizens and informant assets, you know. So and the resources are also covert intelligence, clandestine operations, criminal networking. I mean, it's all a bunch of bullshit. So let's talk about these years in Southeast Asia that Jake spent. We don't know what the years were. He's not telling us. He's claiming right here that he translated speeches for government officials. Well, in order to do that, he would have to have an academic level of a foreign language, and he'd have to be a certified translator. There's no way that a government is going to let some American like Jake in and give him access to information which is sensitive and have him translate anything. So the thing is, Jake has never talked about this idea, or the fact that he actually has a degree, or he has studied foreign languages. So he would be fluent in Thai or Burmese, again, at an academic level. This would take years of training. So he's never stated that he actually has these qualifications. So this is absolutely baloney. There's no way that a foreign government in Asia is going to let some fool in, you know, and he's going to be visiting dignitaries. It's not going to happen. I mean, who is this guy? I mean, you think he worked for the embassy or something? He's just a fucking guy, right? That shows up in Asia, and all of a sudden he's magically working for the government. So, and this is a hero. This is a guy that's going to be stroking his ego. He's a narcissist. He's egocentric. And so he personally assisted hundreds of people. Of course, we don't know who these people are. We don't have any witness testimony that he actually helped them, including victims of the notorious child sex trafficking industry in Thailand. So here it's just it's so outrageous. I mean, had he actually done anything, he likely would have been arrested. I mean, these countries do not like do-gooder foreigners coming in and telling them what to do. I mean, if in fact he was helping child sex traffickers, what does that mean? What did he really do? And how come he's not doing it now? How come he's not in America? America has some of the highest sex trafficking going on globally. All right? So this is bullshit. There's no way that he did this. Now he's in Burma, right? And this drug warlord, General Kun Sa, I haven't really investigated this guy. But again, this is just fucking tomfoolery. You know, he's targeted for kidnapping. Why? What did he do? And by the way, these drug lords have huge powers. huge influences in these countries, as they do in America. And so the thing is, they didn't get this fat fuck? Are you kidding me? What, he ran off into the jungles of Burma? There's just no way. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Again, it's really grandiose, and it's just part of this whole script, that this fantasy that he has. So after escaping the jungles of Asia, he ends up in the United States, where he works as a political strategist and operative for several candidates. So we can see he's always got these titles. He's always about these really important things he does, you know. But we have, again, this is the ego. We have no idea if in fact this is what you do. I mean, if in fact you were this person, you really wouldn't be bragging about it. People that do these things don't brag about them, okay? It's the fakes like Jake, the snake. So anyway, we have him working for this, supposedly working for this campaign. Again, we have no proof that he did this. So he comes back and he works as an investigator. Okay, is he a licensed investigator? By the state of what? So he's working as some kind of investigator. Again, this just sounds like a really cheap TV show. So now he's jumped into lead financial crimes investigator. Okay, this is a guy with a major in history who's apparently been chased off by drug warlords, you know, who's involved with dignitaries in foreign countries unexplainably. All right. And now he's a lead financial crimes investigator? Are you fucking shitting me? And so what does this mean? When did he do this? What were the results of the investigation? Too bad he wasn't in the Pentagon on 9/11 when they were sorting out those trillions of dollars that were missing. Right, Jake? So this crimes investigator, again, he's really in these titles. This is the ego. And he freelances an investigative journalist. So we don't know whether he did this. We have no documentation that he was a journalist. He hasn't produced any other work that he claims to have done. And then he left the corporate world. Fuck this. Left the corporate world? Are you kidding me? And now he's got the End Time News Report. So anyway, this guy's completely fake. So let's take a look at Morphonios at the name. So this is, again, I'm just doing a very cursory investigation on this guy. And so let's take a look at the origin of this supposed Jake Morphonios. So nothing exists on Ancestry.com about this guy. Okay. And let me see if I can capture it. There's a database here that we're going to put Morphonios into it. And so here we're at surnamedatabase.com, and there's nothing on this guy, okay? So we don't really know who he is. We know who he isn't, though. That's pretty clear. So the other point about Jake is he's always under attack. He's got the Burmese drug lord after him. He's got the FBI following him. I mean, this is like a bad Matt Damon movie, all right? So, and he also throws a lot of his information, his private information, out in the public forum. And so here's a picture of him with, he's claiming there was an attack on his family. And so, again, this is the guy that's always being attacked, right? He's always got these bad people after him. This is part of the whole fakery. But let's look at, we're going to assume this is his wife, right? So look at his wife. Look how lean she is. Look at that thick muscle. That thick-necked muscle. Look at the larynx right here. We've got what looks like flat shoulders, broad flat shoulders, long arms, big hands, big mandible, big nose. Eyes are further set apart, all these characteristics, huge skull, are the result of being a man. And so his wife is in fact a male to female transgender. There's just no doubt about it. I mean, if you look at Jake, he's got the round face. He's not lean. He's actually pretty fat. He's got the small beady eyes, small nose, small mandible, and he's jacked up on testosterone. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the thing is, if you understand the effects of testosterone on the female body, you will develop male characteristics, but you're never going to be a male. Same with this one. Who knows how much surgery he went through. I mean, there's just no way. I mean, a woman, an actual woman, it just wouldn't. I mean, it's just unbelievable. The other thing about Jake, you can look, or should we call him Jacqueline? The other thing about Jake, if you look at a lot of his videos, there's no Adam's apple. And we can see the Adam's apple on this one right here, and we can see this thick neck. Okay, again, the characteristics of a man. Also, the thing about these female to male transgenders, they often do have face hair, again, as a result of testosterone. And also because they would just look too feminine if they didn't have some type of male characteristics. But if you hear my voice, this is the voice of a man. Okay, if you hear Jake's voice, you don't hear the deep. There's no deepness in his voice, all right, because he doesn't have male genitalia, all right. I don't know what he has. This thing would have no scrotum and probably the male genitalia. So in the relationship, she would be submissive to him. Okay, everything is transverse. It's completely anti-Christ. All right, Christ and the Bible are very clear that if you modify your gender, if you mutilate your body, if you transform yourself, if you attempt to transform yourself biologically, that you will not get into the kingdom of God. And so this is part of why he's doing this. This is part of who he's aligned with. So if you don't understand how many couples out on media look like this, I mean, if you look at Meg Kelly and a lot of the people on TV, they look just like this man. Okay, that's because they're all men. And a lot of these men, this round-faced woman, you're going to see this a lot in media. So I really encourage you. It's easy to dismiss this as being outrageous because we've been exposed to this on TV and media for decades. For decades. You have no idea. But I invite you to open your eyes to transversions and this antichrist behavior. There's plenty of YouTubers out there doing information about this. So this is a complete deception. Now, the fact that he's transgender, I don't really give a shit, because we know that he's a Luciferian. But it's deceptive. He's pretending to be a man, all right, when in fact it's a woman. Right, Jake?